back. Wow. It's been a long journey. We are finally home though. Well, we're at the hotel. And Isaac and I are now here calmly, safely with one another. And yeah, so, and the messages coming through, the energies in the last chat, pretty heavy and a bit, with a transit, we're transitioning. The point that Spirit here wants to make, and the point that has been made, is that we as lightworkers are getting what was owed to us back. Okay, we're getting what was owed to us back. And it's all coming in. All of the, and it's not something that we are consciously calling out. This is why sometimes we have people who are so triggered by us. Okay? Yeah. For no apparent reason. And you're just like, why are you treating me like XYZ? Okay? Whatever, however and it's like, you don't even see the wave that they are already resisting in you. Okay? So, this is the last push, the shadow, okay, before we move fully into really embracing our light and embracing the light. This is his new pajama suit. It's just the cutest thing. Right now he's chewing on it. But yeah, we're moving through and we're just clearing right now. No, there's no new decision. This is you reaping the rewards. And you're gonna see that things may get a little bit hairy and they get shady and people start acting fucking weird before you hit your ascension. And that is that. And there's nothing you are gonna feel guilty about for ascending ever. Spirit froze right there on that note. So there's no way you're going down. So, and these are the creepy, nefarious, Machiavellian energies of the past lives. You're clearing it out. Any ties, okay? Any sort of, toleration of this silly, okay, victim energy, self-victimization, the victim of the light. Never. Again, ever. And the thing is, it's so not obvious. Like, for lightworkers, I feel much of our ascension is just kind of automatic, and that's not something, it's not about bragging. We do the hard-ass shadow work, you heard, okay, to get to the point where we are not afraid to clear dark energy. Okay, and it's when you're about to reap your greatest rewards, you heard, right before you're about to get what is owed to you. And this is from past lives. Okay? They resist on some plane. Okay, yeah. The story that is going to unfold. It's like a moment when like someone's about to win a Grammy, okay, and the other contestants, you just feel it, like, I didn't win, and they try to project that on the other person, and you're just like, huh? You're as a lightworker, you're humble, okay? You're not sitting there like trying to rub anything into anyone's face, When you're really ascended, you're not playing that silly game. You're not playing 0 games. And so all you're doing is sitting in a space of balance, connecting to your higher self, and Spirit answers, right, those who are truly doing their shadow work. And when you're you're about to, receive a blessing from God, okay, from the universe. Your shadow is obviously also released because you're ready to accept that. And certain people, the sad news is that they don't want you to ascend. That's not something conscious, and that's something that I realized tonight. Some people, they want to pretend they're in the light. But the one thing that doesn't fucking lie is energy. When you see the energy and you see that person is in they're fully in their shadow, you're not going to tell me that you're in the light and that what you're doing is in the light. And that's that projection. Okay? That's never the take-home message. Spirit doesn't listen to, I'm okay, I'm innocent. What is that? Nobody is at the mercy of their shadow work. True light workers who are truly ready to ascend, they want to experience shadow work. Okay, and so when this is the moment, okay, where you're realizing that's who doesn't actually want you to ascend. That's what you're realizing when you're doing ascension. It's not so much what you're receiving your blessing, because when you are receiving blessings, you're not sitting there in a conditional way waiting for your blessings. You are your blessings because you're in that space already energetically. Receiving from you to you. You're not receiving your reality from anything around you, anybody around you. And so you're not waiting on confirmation of anything. Okay, but yeah, it's the resistance that comes in. But that doesn't change shit. Lightworkers, you have massive blessings coming in. I'll just tell you that. And tonight was a huge lesson for me in experiencing what it really means to ascend. Because everything is in relation to another thing. Sometimes you want to say, no, like, I ascend and everyone ascends. Like, no. Some people, they decide, not just, because again, it's all relative, but to decide exactly where they're at. And there's no, like, I'm good because I want to be good, because they see that you're good and they want to do that. No, it takes shadow work and transmutation. Okay, not like, oh yeah, I know what's right and everyone needs to do that. It's accountability, I was deeply disturbed today by but it was necessary, and so clear the energy, know that you are loved by spirit, and everything is meant to be the way it happens. Let's clear the energy all the way down the left side of the body. And another thing, is the gaslighting. Okay, and this is important to point out, right? It's not about having fear, okay, of, oh no, I can't, yeah, this is all, Come on, Isaac, play, give me this one. It's chewing on the mask here. It's all with a reason. It's all intentional. But we're definitely going through these experiences, and it's important to be aware from the get-go. The projecting, the gaslighting, trying to manipulate. It's like, if you're in the light, you're not needing to explain that you're innocent. You know what I'm saying? Let's clear it. There's no explanation of the light. That's like Biden going around wearing a shirt that says, I'm the president. Does anybody need clarification of that? I mean, it's like something like this. Does Obama go around wearing a t-shirt that says, I was president for 4 years? How many years was he president for? 8? I'm telling you, I'm not involved. I don't know. That's out of my, yeah. It's amazing, right, that you would think, yeah. But anyways, that I live in DC, right? But no, guys, it's a joke. This is serious. Like, no one, this is a serious message in that no one says that. If you're really there now, but it's gonna get weird, because they may try to project, okay? Yeah, onto you. Oh no, I am trying to deflect and trying to defend their shadow, and that personally is the most disturbing part. That is the most just disappointing thing, Anyways, it's good because you see who's willing to actually hold their fucking karma on their own. And who would rather, save face? Okay, it's like the type of person who, if they get caught doing something shady, they just want to put it on you, like at the very last minute, when it wasn't you. Spirit has no respect for that. And these can be people who say, oh no, yeah, they could be the freaking Pope guys. When it comes down to it, what do you do with your fear? Your guides are protecting you beyond measure, beyond belief during these times. They're very turbulent. These waves are fucking choppy, but they are one with the wave. Okay. You and your guides. I'm hearing we run this. But that's what it means to truly be ascended and to be in the light. And that's not something that is not about humble, not humble. Light workers, they move through their shadow because they humbled their ego enough to get to the point where they could do their shadow work. Truly. There's no like, I was in this program for 8 years. Like, I cleared my shadow. No, you didn't. Apparently, if you cannot own up to what I'm hearing, you can't stand in yourself. Wow. Yeah, something like this, It's so hard to relate to. And that's the thing. When you're spending time in your ascension and and then you come across people who are in the matrix, and it's like the one thing if it's like someone you don't know, but it's like family members, for example. This is my lesson, I'll tell you. It's like you're like, oh no, like my family can't be like in the shadow. Well, hello. Love and light. Anybody can, but it's just one of those moments, because I don't want to say you give the benefit of the doubt, but and then you're like, wow, I can't, it feels like you can't trust anybody, almost. That's the sensation. But when should we ever really trust anybody as well? Not to say that you should have a trust issue, but, that's the cross shadow. And that's my shadow that I experience here. With the South Node in Cancer, is, you have to think, they may all make the decision to remain in the fucking matrix. I know I'm being harsh here. This is Scorpio season. I'm not fucking around. If those of you, oh my god, she's cursing, oh my god, this vibe is too much, you gotta gut off of this channel. Okay, right now, let's clear love and light. I say that with kindness in my, but it's not something that I can sugarcoat, okay? Yeah, it doesn't matter who is who. Because we all know it. You can be holding an XYZ position, political position, and you can do XYZ without so-called power. So it's not about this person is your family member, this person is this or that. You have to give the space for everyone to show you who the fuck they are, and at every moment in time. And the worst part is when you see someone's in the shadow, and then you're like, kind of knowing that, but then it's like, you feel it, but then you don't say anything about it, and that's just building and building, and it's like, so, yeah, there's a lot going on underneath the surface. A lot. That, as very sensitive light worker, let's back up. Yeah, and they're very jealous of that. Okay, people in the Matrix, I'm just going to say it like this simple. In the Matrix, they know that you are, in a way, superior. This is not ego superiority complex. This is superior, your ego in relation to your higher self. Your higher self has worked through the shadow of the ego. So you're superior in relation to your own fear space. And that is, the funny thing is that that's how you're able to point someone out who's in the Matrix, when they get triggered by you and your empowerment, because they make it something personal about them. When it's not even that your ascension is in relation to them, it was in relation to you always. If you ascend in relation to another person, you're not ascended yet. You haven't transcended the matrix of that experience, right? The true transcendence is the self-reliance in maneuvering through the mask, right? The masquerade, the dance between light and dark as a reference point in this particular dimension. So it's where you realize everything is perspective as well. And that's not about anybody else, because perspective is very personal. So people get very triggered again, who are in the matrix. They get very triggered by those who they know are in the light. They know you are in the light, okay, and they know it. And you come across this all the time. People, I mean, I've dated people who couldn't handle my success. I'm not even talking about the channel. I'm talking just period, guys. You know, it's like they just cannot handle it, and you're like, are you serious? Like the person. Let me get this straight. The person I'm dating can't handle that I am successful. And to a light worker, yeah, really, really, it moves you, it shakes you when you realize it. The day you realize it, you know, like you always felt something, but you never wanted to admit. We'll say that, right? In some way. Anyways, I know this is a heavy message. This is one of those astro chats. I can't pretend that, you know, it's not a message coming through. Spirit, this is yeah. So let's. I'm hearing Eurasian. Let's back up. Yeah, and there are people who will try to frame you, you know, and it's like you have to just not fear, have no worry about what someone's gonna go and say about you, okay? I am seeing some dark energy here. Yeah, true light works with the dark. So there's no fear of no dark when you are truly in ascension space. So let whoever say whoever to whoever, okay, is whoever. It is whoever to whoever else. I don't know, maybe these people are gonna go gossip about you. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a flying fuck? Nobody. Who actually is going to be aligning with you, where you align in a space where you've transcended your ego. You're not going to be when you're in your true soul tribe with those who would ever judge you for having ascended. We got to really hear that clearly. Spirit is underlining that, you know, you deserve everything that you're experiencing, and you should never feel guilty. Okay, yeah. I'm not even saying people will come up to you and say no one is going to come up and say, oh yeah, I'm jealous. I mean, come on. The people who are truly jealous, they'll say to your face that they're so happy for you, but it's how you feel around that person. Okay, and it's not because it's their own demon. Many of these people are compromised and they are not able to make decisions for themselves. Let's clear it. And they almost like they want it's like they want part of you. Yeah, 6 of dark energy. No. So spirit is protecting you, and the more that they push, the harder they give their karma up, and that's just that. The more that they push, the more spirit acknowledges where you're at. Okay, in relation to them, and because it becomes karmic when someone here is throwing shade at you, and that's we always talk about that. When you're throwing shade, let's clear. When you are throwing shade at a light worker, okay, that becomes a karmic conversation, and spirit is logging it. Okay, because there's karma there, obviously. Okay, and you're a teacher to others as well, but in the moment, it's like, wow. Sorry, did I do something fucking wrong here? No. Anyways, yeah, I was really disturbed today, but this is something that needed to happen. You know, let's back it up. Not just today, but but really today was a plateau moment. It was a crescendo. It was a climax, and it was very, very, very challenging in the moment. But yeah, it was like I said, disturbing. Okay, but it's disturbing to what we didn't want to see, maybe, right? About somebody else, though. For personally, that's what I've realized. Like, moving through my shadow work, okay, has had its moments, but I've gotten to the point where I'm generally comfortable. Okay, now it's to the point, okay, where it's more about others, but obviously we all have shadow work always, but mostly about others, and it's like we can't forget that others are going through their shadow work too, and that some people are not really doing very well at that. So we play roles on either side, and you fuck with a light worker, someone who is a true light worker, you're really doing your karma, okay, and you do it, and you don't put it on others. You fuck with them, you're fucking with yeah. I'm marrying the devil too, because the true light worker has the devil respects one who's able to actually balance dark and light forces. Okay, that's where true synergy is at, and the dark needs the light, light needs the dark. So you're messing with Satan himself. Okay, yeah, there's no such thing as let's clear it. No, because there's no way out of your greatness. Okay, people try to frame you in either direction. Okay, to say you're too let's clear it. Let's just clear it. No. It's a very complicated conversation. It's a bit abstract, but hopefully hopefully it's making sense. For some of you, these are people who have given their good karma up to you, This has already been decided, okay? And spirit is and they're very bitter, okay? Yeah, they're very, very bitter. And then it's like they're trying to frame you. Anyways, I don't know. Hopefully this is adding up. It's been a very long week, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm like feeling very weary right now. But this, yeah, hopefully on playback, and hopefully as from your perspective, as I'll say, as we are watching this, it makes more sense. It feels very scattered, but this is the message, and I'm not changing it, and I'll never change it, and that's that. Okay, so yeah, and there's no discussion about energy. Okay, you are where you accept your vibration at, and that's that. So, um, yeah. Let's clear it. Thanks, Yasmin. That's very kind. Thanks, Jolene. Yeah. Yeah. We can't let our guard down, around anybody. That's not saying be fearful. But we cannot. To hold your vibration, you always have to keep in that space of being vigilant of, otherwise it's like the teacher closing their eyes and not grading papers anymore, okay, and just passing people. No. And yeah, nobody is an excuse. How many of you have been dealing with like generational karmic patterns? Has that been a theme, for you guys? Yeah. 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 Wow. um yeah, the split is happening. Yeah, that's right. It is really happening. um let's back it up quick. Yeah, there's no nostalgia. um yeah, so bye. That's all that there is to it. That's all that there is to it. And they will try. They'll try to thought project, and when they see that you see their demon, then they'll try to like cover it up. Oh no, it's not really. Oh yeah. It's no, it's that way. Not because not you know everybody can have shadow, but it's the demon in the sense that you made a decision to mobilize you made a decision to cover your light ultimately, and not and choose darkness ultimately, and I have no respect for that. Okay, personally, like when I see that, I'm just like, ew. Okay, yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, spirit really came through tonight, and thank you guys so much for being here, and um through this journey. Give me a sec, guys. Get the charger. My phone is gonna die. Yes, it's off. We're not here to keep cycles up. We're not here to just have everybody get along as if there's no shadow. Okay. Sometimes it's those who act the most innocent that are really, really the culprit energy. Okay, it's like the way I see it is, it's like you're in a room, and some people, you're trying to keep the temperature a certain temperature in the room. Someone keeps coming in, opening the door and letting this really cold draft come in, something like this. But then they're fully opening. They know they're holding the door a little too long there. Wow. Um, these are messages. I mean, spirit is. This is a definitely message for me. This is. I mean, this is. Hopefully that this is resonating for others in a way that's helpful. But anyways, and it's like, you know, wow, like you're trying to say that. Side eye. Aw, good eye. And then it's like they're just they're walking and pretending like, oh no, like, oh no, I don't know why it's cold in here. You were holding the fucking door open for 30 minutes. Like, okay, wow. It's just a Machiavellian energy, and that's all. And that's all it is. Thanks. Let's back real quick. I didn't see what you wrote through Scorpio before you retracted it. Yes. Yes. Yes, Andre. It's like they want to like, yeah. So I know. I'm so grateful. I'm so fucking grateful. Isaac has this little eye open right there. Isaac has been truly. I mean, yeah. Angel. Love you. It's okay. It's next door. It's okay. It's okay. It's not really used to the hotel. Isaac, hey. Come here, Isaac. It's all right, baby. Here, let's go. Just want to see his pajamas. They're trying to take what you have. Yeah. And mm-hmm. This is what has been promised to you from spirit. I do believe we make decisions before we reincarnate, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. And certain people are not happy with those decisions. Mm-hmm. We know who you are. You know when you meet people and spirit says, no, you know what? You're gonna have that in this lifetime now. Okay? Yeah. You took advantage of that. Maybe you didn't appreciate that in the last lifetime. Let's back up to a throat chakra. Maybe you stole that from that person last lifetime. Well, guess what? Now it's theirs. And then they're going to be so bitter for, oh, no reason, for some weird reason in this lifetime. Yeah. This was chosen by spirit for you to have this in this lifetime. Okay, so don't let anyone make you feel any kind of way about what you have in your life. Create it for yourself. Okay, and good karma is what moves through. Okay, always at the end of the day. Hold on, sweet Pete. Wait. Hold on. You know. I'm hearing it's over. The race is fully over. Okay, completely. It's not even a debate anymore. I mean, we know that. That's the thing. Before the retros happen, it's like we know this. Like we feel it, on some point. And then when the retros roll through, then it's like we can tend to forget. Okay, what we've said like to this point, it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna remember. Don't worry. It's like, oh yeah, when the storm rolls through, okay, when the lightning strikes, it's like you knew there'd be lightning tonight, but hey, it's kind of freaky, when you hear that first crack of thunder, you know, it's surreal. It's surreal in a way. And so let's back up. Yeah, what spirit is saying ultimately is that, you know, give me a second. This little PJ one. me a sec, guys. I'm a little distracted here. I don't remember what we were saying. There was a thought, but I kind of lost it. Anyone remember what the last was here? There you go. I want to show them to you guys. A little crooked. Almost straight. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't remember what we were talking about. Thanks so much. Yes. Aww. That was an important thought. What I was meant to be, but I don't recall it. But yeah, we were saying that we tend to forget. We've been talking about this message for the retros. You know, yeah. I don't know. It is a very lonely process, Deanna. Yeah, it is. Yes. And then it's like, oh my God, are you comfortable, Isaac? Sweet pea. Oh, I have to take a picture of this. Hold on, guys. We're saying that, you know, yeah, before the retros, you're prepared for this. Well, and we talked about this. But then right before retro slash during retro, it gets like, it's like a test. You know, how much you kind of remember of what you know, of what you've created. You know, you've taken yourself to this point. Yeah, I don't know what Spirit wants to make it about. This one. Dang, it's gonna bother me though. This always happens. Like, every time, if I forget about one of the messages, it's gonna come up again. Yes. Maybe I remember it was something, it was right before I said something about how we were, Spirit prepared us, but then we're still experiencing it more or less. Oh, the mic is muffled just right now. Is anybody going to understand what's going on? Grace Lux asking, what do you think of Salem? I'm thinking to go there for Halloween. Really? Right now the mic is muffled? That's strange. Yeah. They're trying to interrupt the message. It's all good. Yeah. No matter what. Um, the message will be heard. Even if this message were silent, if we just mind, it's when you're when you're watching the channel message and the downloads, you're not really. It's not just what you're hearing. Spirit will speak to you. It's in the in between. It's the in between. You know, if you take it so literally, yeah, this is what I found. Even with in general in life, you can be talking to a stranger, they're channeling for you right there. Something, that's significant for you. Thank you. Thank you for the reminder. Oh, really? It's awful when you plugged it in. Okay, what about now? What about now? Yes. Yes, Rise Tarot. It says, it's weird when you encounter energies that are so separate from where you are that it feels almost sludgy and thick. Totally. It feels almost like you're being punked or something. Like, wait, like, isn't this obvious? Like, why doesn't anyone else kind of realize that this is the situation? Like, okay, why is this person also sort of, acting XYZ way? Like, isn't this great? Those are in the Matrix. We said this months ago. You know, it's not looking good. So let's clear. But that, who cares? We're not here to say, oh, like, they chose diary. Like, oh, no, there's nothing awe about that. They're gonna come back in the next. They're gonna come back and they're gonna make another decision. Let's clear it down the rest of the body. Okay. Yeah. The convalescing soul. Yeah. So the most important thing is like not to seek approval necessarily, right, from others. This can be hard. It's not even approval. It's like those situations when people set the convo up so that it's like weird. Like you're like, okay, we were on the same page, and then you're sort of like creating this weird like feeling, like creating an issue that then you need them to resolve. It's like, but if you really were to go back to square one, you'd realize I never really needed. I wasn't seeking this person's approval for anything. Let's clear it. Anyways, Mars retro is coming through with tests. Is coming through with. Let's back it up. Yes, absolutely. That can be very challenging. Drawing momentum. It says don't ever make yourself small to comfort evils. Yes. And that's where it's at. That's really where it's at. Clearing the shadow exactly there. It's not really about anything you're doing. It's more about how you allow yourself to feel. Right? It's like if you are ascending and you're doing the work to ascend, and then you're like kind of take it on someone else's projected energy or guilt about how they're not able to, then it's like, I mean, why are you doing that? You know? Yeah. Damn. I feel like it was something pretty important, but oh well. Maybe we'll watch it on playback and it'll come through. Anyways, and we'll maybe type up a community post or however. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, and it's like you just, at a certain point that you feel like you just cannot trust anybody. Again, it's not a trust issue thing, it's a literal, like, survival. Okay, as a light worker, you have to be vigilant about, this shouldn't make you paranoid, right? If you're truly in an ascension space, it wouldn't make you paranoid. This is more like, oh, yeah, right. Because light workers know that's what you need to do to stay afloat. You don't need to, like, people who are just like, oh, yeah, I feel bad with this person and, like, I'm taking on all their karma. And it's like, oh, God. You know? It's like, and the people that I'm, let's say, so called dealing with whatever this is, This is them batoning another person's karma that I have boundaries with. And it's like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? It's like, that doesn't make, yeah, let's clear it. Okay, it's just messy. Yeah, it's missing. It's gone missing, and Spirit's not tagging nobody's even they're not even tagging nobody's luggage. Let's clear the sacral. Unbelievable. But let's back up. Yeah, so Spirit is definitely preparing you though for much to come. That is very exciting. And it's like a swing, like really exciting, changes, and then yeah. But it's about clearing. Clearing is not always fun, yeah. Sometimes it's easier, but sometimes it is. It's getting very circus. Exactly, Neil. This is getting ridiculous. Yeah. Um, it's like they're they're starting to coagulate, like the shadow. They're trying to band together, and it's like you just cannot trust anyone to do their shadow work. They have to do it, and they have to prove it to themselves. And the one thing is, a lightworker, we're making excuses sometimes. I feel this is a very heavy personal message right now, but obviously it's also channeled. I mean, if it weren't, I would just have my moment and not get on. We've had plenty of those moments. Just for those who are trolls, oh yeah, what, just spewing all of her personal, no, let's clear it. Yeah. And most people who I would think are aligned with this channel would have, we most likely have similar karma that we're moving through in some ways as well, in general, just as a side note. So, those who are heavily resonating with the channel, and you've been, and you're finding that yeah, there's some sort of alignment with the messages or some sort of enlightenment, then yeah, in ascension, okay, that's happening, you're taking something away from the messages as insight, then yeah, we most likely have some sort of there's a path. And no, it's not that everybody needs to be on the path. And I was talking about this the other day, like, more is not necessarily more accurate. Yeah. Some people may want to love XYZ tarot reader or XYZ guru. It's like, but if they're just not clicking, it's just not the right, yeah. So anyways, yeah, yeah. um yeah, you guys have had trouble sleeping. They're trying to basically get through, though, like any which way. We have to think like that because, this is in tandem with the message of the Mars retro. It's kind of like we let our guard down, like, oh yeah, no, I'm fine, like, I see where I'm at, but then this other layer comes in, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, why is this happening? But it's all in relation to you. Your ascension is not changing, but um, how others are dealing with their karma is, right. It's gonna get harder. And this is not, no, like, sorry to deliver this news, like, the Mars retro is gonna get brutal for some. Let's love and light, well, brutally honest. This is where Spirit's gonna slap the grade on your desk. and say, no, this is it. This is the grade. And, you know, there's nothing you can even do at this, you know, but yeah, they're trying to, here's the thing, you know, the spirit is making it a visual thing. When you cut certain people out of your story, right? And you're just like, no, like you see the toxicity, for example, you see the energy where it leads you. You're like, I don't feel good around that person, like ick, okay? And then you cut that person off, okay? You cut the cycle out and down, and away, and away. Let's clear the cycle in the room. Um, yeah, then the energy. It's not like it doesn't. You know, it's still trying. So high level light workers are targeted, and that's just it. That's just what it is. So these, you know, they're dying off, and they need to get to you. So they're trying to go through other people, basically. Let's clear it and bye bye. That's your karma. That's your luggage. Yeah. So this needs to get really clear. Again, I hope it's helping somebody. You know, I know this is, yeah, something that makes me say. Rise Tarot says, what annoys me the most is that the folks that are not ascending want to be obstacles in your path. Yeah, they do. In a way, like, you know, it is obviously, okay, Dark Angel, but it's like, let's clear it. It's kind of like they're combusting, and they don't know what to do other than just like kind of, let's clear it. If you don't want to level up right now and you've chosen the Matrix, then be content with that. Yeah, it's very gray zone. And it's like, I feel like for a period of time, we didn't really, we've been so focused on our story, like we haven't really identified, okay, at least personally, this is how I've experienced this ascension in the last few years. It's like I'm not responsible. And that's the obvious. You have to focus on yourself. That's why light workers work solo. True light workers, you know, who are really doing their ascension. Okay, I'm not talking like, yay, like love and light, but kumbaya, like nothing wrong with that, but like, oh yeah, we're all like, yeah, no. Like, are you alone? Are you really, or do you have cover up for your shadow? Like, okay, just because you're doing tarot, you're having fun with crystals, doesn't mean that you're doing your ascension. That's why you can be around a tarot or a spiritualist and you're not feeling good. Just because they're a spiritualist doesn't mean that they've actually done their shadow work. I don't know. This is a very clear message. Apparently, spirit. I feel like, yeah, this is a lot, but and nah. And then it's like, yeah. And then, oh no, it's so exhausting. Yeah, right. Um, yeah. It's like, you have a problem with someone being in the light, like of all people. It's like, yeah, of course, let's clear it. Why would someone go and try and steal money from someone who they know has no money, living light? You don't see that. You know, a narcissist not going to go after a narcissist. A narc will go after an empath. Let's back it up with throat chakra. But this has come through in many readings here recently. Like, you know, it's amazing sometimes how it, you know, we're gonna see it, but we're gonna see it to the point where let's, it's gonna get clear, you know. And so, are we willing to see it? You know, maybe in a past life we weren't, we didn't say anything, but we felt it. You know, now it's the time to just make it awkward. See, admit it. You know, openly. You know, there will be objection, but because a lot of people, they're not proud of the decisions they've made, but it's a little too late right now. You know, it's like, well, you could have gone back there and like done that one thing or said that one thing. Oh, but you didn't. Like, you decided, yeah. So, I mean, the class is over. You got to go back and do that class. They don't want it. Yeah. Some of you, this is your sibling. I don't know. This is coming through. It's like they're comparing themselves like to your level. It's like, I don't know why you're doing that. That's like crutch success. It's like then your success is always in relate. It's like someone comparing themselves to Beyonce. It's like, who are you? It's like, I'm like sort of like Beyonce. Like, I'm in relation to Beyonce. It's like, huh? Okay, let's you know, imagine if Beyonce, you know, would come. This is an example, right? Oh yeah, like I feel, what makes you feel successful? I'm like sort of, yeah, I'm like so and so, like in relation to so and so. I don't know. Let's clear it. This is about being extremely independent. Okay, this energy, yeah, and that's what it really comes down to, is this Empress energy. Is it alive, right? When you meet someone, do you feel that they're truly in their Empress energy, or are they claiming a toxic masculine energy? And the most disappointing thing for me is when I see someone is batoning another, they're being pawned by another person. We did talk about this, where you're not talking to this person, you're talking to their entity. Yes. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Rise Tarot says, I used to always tell my clients, if you don't feed it, it will starve. Yes, exactly. You know, and at the very end, don't let me starve. It's like, it's not me not letting you starve. It's you letting you starve. Bye. We all have to, you know, you know, because you could be fed, but you're not nourished. Let's clear it. No, no, no. Let's clear it. Let's back it up. It's like the example of like, okay, you know someone's agenda, right? Let's say there's someone here, they're so-called homeless. You know they're not homeless, but they're asking everyone for money, and you know their agenda, and then you're like, I'm not gonna feed into that propaganda, and then everyone around you and them, oh wow, you're so not generous. Look at you. No, it's framing gaslighting. It's something like this. That's kind of what it's like, and so you find people who are not in the matrix as well, right? Who confirm your reality, right? They're like, no, I see that too. No, yeah, no problem. With how you're seeing it, in my eyes, at least, let's, no problem with what you see. It's an issue when, let's clear. Yeah, it's like people need to get out of other people's business about how they see their reality. I think that's really what it comes down to. And that's so funny why we get the trolls that come in. It's like these people come through like literally like trolling on an account. It's like, if you really thought that, then why are you here? Why do you really, why do you care about how someone else sees their reality? Let's back it up with first program in the sacral and in the root. Some may be dealing with addictions. That's more like a Neptune thing, I would think, but it could be Pluto as well, right? The Phoebe of power and control, not having it, being very triggered. People who don't have control being very triggered by people who do have control. And you're just like, what? Like, why are you this? What the? It's like you're getting like so triggered by what now? It's like weird. So, and it's gonna come out of nowhere, because like yet again, like how strong you are, okay, in your ascension, but we don't see it in relation to others, and so it's almost like you can't just sort of have how do we say? It's like you gotta accept your trophy, your prize. Spirit's like, yeah, you're a pro, but someone's trying to call you amateur, whatever. Okay, no, the table has turned. The game has changed. Okay, yeah. So this is like I keep saying like a very clear Machiavellian energy. Like, people could win that game in the past. They could have so-called won that game, but now the game board has elevated to the point where, and it wasn't even real winning. It's like, this reminds me of like Cinder fucking Rella. I'm sorry. Cinderella. Like, let's back it up. Guys, I literally see an imprint of the moon on my jacket. Hold on. Do you see? That's a face. Guys, do you see that? Oh my god. It looks like the moon. Oh my gosh. Wow. So, and earlier I was seeing a crescent moon. Wow. That reminds me of the moon. I think her name is Luna in Big Bear in the Big Blue House. Let's back it up quick. Let's go to the on the road. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. Yes, right, Rise. Right. Spirit is wanting maybe to talk about the eclipse. Well, of course, that's adding to it. um, there's so many messages. I feel like I'm like, there's so much going on. I'm feeling very like all over the place right now. So I'm sorry if it's kind of, it is what it is, but hopefully yet again, this is a helpful message. I know it's definitely a message for someone. Whoever needs. But where is the water? Hi, sweet boy. Oh, guys. I would fancy a cigar, but I think I'll just sleep instead. Oh my god. I have to take a picture of this. But yeah. Another thing is like I've always been independent. But then, you know, there does come that test where it's like, what if your reality changes to the point where no, you don't approve of what's going on around you, and will you feel so called alone? You know, um, to the point where you just you don't feel it. You don't feel it in you to relate anymore, you know, because it's so draining when you know that certain people you just don't resonate with, and then you're still like hanging out and you're still, you know, doing what you're doing, and it's like I'm hearing doing the dishes. Let's back it up with Rotor. You're still doing what you're doing. I'm seeing a rainbow here. And then it's like, so what if, you know, so what if you're so called alone? Like, what if it leads to, you know, yeah, how do we say, like, no relationship being better than a toxic one, you know, for a period of time? And well, whatever it needs to be from spirit, having the faith, knowing that who you are to yourself, creating what you create, you know, is the supreme, right? And that's about that. Let's back it up. Absolutely. Because you're a creator. So, and that is leadership in this dimension, knowing that you're here with a purpose, right? As opposed to the matrix mentality of, oh no, like everyone needs to follow the system. You know? Um, yeah. Like the whole victim like mentality. Oh, I don't know what my purpose is. No, you do. It's just that there's a conversation that's sort of barking over that very deep knowingness. Um, Flying Fish Dream says, I'm very alone by design. I love that. Yeah, that's right. The worst is when you're like, you're fully like happy, you're happier on your damn own. And people are like, oh my god, are you okay? It's like, and then they're making all this, it's like, when I'm not okay is when I'm having to clear and Reiki from head to motherfucking toe after just even talking to you. Let's clear it. I have no mercy for that. And there's none of it. Oh, but like, poor them. Let's back the energy up. Let's back it up. How many of you know what I'm sure you know exactly when you're like, even you just talk to something, I mean, I can't even, it's to the point. I mean, this transit with the eclipse and the Mars retro must be hidden. I'm a Scorpio rising, Mars in my 8th. Let's back up, clear in the 3rd eye. You know, let's back it up again, clear it in the throat chakra. But it's like, damn. Because for me to be around to be around people, period, at this time during a transit like this. Anyways. I have to look more at my personal transits. But yeah. Sometimes spirit doesn't want you knowing it in advance, though. Like, I could have 800 calendars, and if it's not meant for you to know, you know, then sometimes spirit, this happens all the time. Spirit's like, no, we don't want you to have the heads up. Actually, you need to just kind of experience it, and then in retrospect, you know, kind of have more foresight. Sometimes, personally, you know, for me at least. Let's back up a quick throw chakra. Yeah, I think a lot of it is like expectations and perspective. I think that sometimes where light workers, you know, they feel trapped is like, what? I thought that this was this way. Like, why are you acting like that? You know, let's say that you're hanging out with someone and then maybe they're jealous of you. Okay. It's like you don't even know why that person is jealous. You know, and it could be for some crazy weird. So Spirit is saying, keep it up in mind with how others may have been experiencing your ascension along, yeah. Thank you, 3 little birds, and how you may be helping them ascend further as well. So guys, we may come back. Let's clear it. Even though you're focusing on yourself, you're still triggering others. So, oh yeah. Always going through transformation, Sparky. Always. You know, light work is like you're in transit with a collective, experiencing what it feels like you are constantly giving birth, right? With the cycles, when you're in tune, if you're in the matrix, it's like you're giving birth, but you're blaming it on something else. No, I just have a stomach ache, I'm good. No, you are having a full-on baby right there. Okay, that's what the full moon, new moons. Someone is trying to like put someone to sleep. I'm seeing it. I have an image here of like someone trying to. There's like they know you're woke. They want you to like fall back asleep. I don't know. Okay. Some of these, they could be family members. Okay, for some, I'm hearing friends. I'm hearing Meredith. Somebody wants money. Let's clear it. I see a slithering tongue here. And the other thing I can't stand, okay, this is turning into like a great thing. But no, this is, again, it is what it is. I'm not gonna change the message. Trust me, I'm extremely tired right now, but it's not about tired. Just the energy is fucking, it's exhausting. But I feel that, I need to share this. The other irritating thing is when it's like someone's making it, how do we say, you feel like there's some issue, but it's actually a different issue, and then you see what that person's really about, you know when money gets involved, and it just becomes this dirty like mess, like, oh, so you just wanted like that person to pay for that, and then like your whole behavior changes, like, sorry, like, what? And then you realize like how this person is so in their ego, and it's like, anyways, let's clear it. There's so it's like endless. So yeah, we won't necessarily go there, because I mean, what's the they're sort of losers. And part of it is the Mars retro. Retros are not always going to necessarily be like, hearing from spirit that it's a time of your positive returns as well. If you've been in the higher frequency form of your Mars, your Aries energy, um, you really don't have anything to worry about except for how you perceive, right, of your story. So, like, let's say you're doing very well, and then you come across someone who's like treating you like shit about what it is that you love as well, and trying to like slap some weird energy, okay, and associate it with what you're doing. Um, let's back it up. Let's claim a third eye. Yeah, it's like they're even trying to get competitive with you. It's like someone trying to compete with you who they feel honestly that they have nothing to compete with, but then they're still trying to compete. It's like, where are you? But where are you? You got to remember, that, yeah, sometimes you are so far where you're at that you're not even looking anymore at the reference point. But even, that is the shadow cross reflection for the light worker, remembering that it's a collective experience. So everyone will have a reaction to what you're doing. Some people are going to love you. They will love you to bits. Especially during this cycle, you'll be meeting people with a very healthy Pluto, and they're going to love you to bits. You're going to find new soul tribe. I'm hearing that as well. Yes. But, you're going to meet others who, so you stimulate others on their journey of ascension, and that is ultimately the end of the day. So who is it? Three Little Birds said it very, very, I felt well. The universe, okay, is guiding you. Okay, the universe, let's put it on the right side of the body, knows, you. And it's not, yeah, anything for anyone else to judge or say anything about or on behalf of. Wow, Mel. Says yes, family that won't let me sleep for so. Casting is everything. Let's back it up with throat chakra. Yeah, spirit's cutting the cords. No more of that. Okay, snip, snip, snip. It doesn't add up. Sorry, wrong door. You're trying to like talk to who now about what? Trying to complain to the light worker? But sorry. No, they're readdressing all of those envelopes. Yes. Right. Mm. Let's go and take one route. But yeah, we talked about this as well in the last few days. I would definitely clear ties, like whatever it is that you still have yet to decide on, I would address it like as soon as possible. But yeah, to go back to whoever asked about Salem, I am thinking of going to Salem. I'm hearing Ezra, and I'm hearing Rachel. That was so specific. Rise Tarot says, I had to find a new chosen family to talk about this past new moon in Scorpio transit in my 4th house. Wow. Yeah. I saw your comment on the last video. It was very interesting. That's kind of like, yeah. Oh, guys, it's a bit cold. Let me turn on the... I'm hearing they want to get to know you. Okay, I think that's turning it on. But yeah, Isaac and I haven't slept for like days. Oh. Okay, guys. I'm also here to say about twin flames. Of course. Here it comes. The tree of life. I'm hearing rubber band. Some of you, this is a jealous third party, but it's all related. You know, it's like, little do you know, it's like, you know, your mother-in-law is like related to like your brother. I don't know. It's like the drama that you're having. It's like, it's weird. Let's clear. It's not random. It's like mirrored. It's like, why is like Hugo having the same strange reaction to my success as like my sister? It's like, I don't know. You know, but I you know, it's like we're starting to realize as a collective that yeah, our ascension is controversial. Okay, for many reasons, but it does come down to true love. And when you're aligning with a true love partner, okay, yeah, you're pushing other forces out of the way that are subsisting on the shadow. So, you know, a classic, the most like mundane example would be someone, let's say someone in your family who wants you to marry someone very specific. I don't know, this may be someone's very particular message. Ugh. I just can't stand that. Yeah. When people try to like get to know you. But like in this really just like uncomfortable way, it's like, if we really like know each other, we'll already know each other. It's like we don't have to sit and talk and ask these questions. It's like, oh my god, I feel like I'm blobbing on now. Ah, this is such a moment. This astro. But it is what it is. It's clear. We're being very raw, very honest. And only someone who has a problem with being transparent and vulnerable would try to judge you. You know, I've had family members try to judge the way that I channel, and it's like, who even are you? Like, even they're not even a querent. They're not even a, you heard me? They're not. I had to have a moment, Bernadette. No, like, I'm serious. Like, they're not even, it's like, you're not even watching, like, the motherfucking tarot readings. Okay, so it's like you giving, like, advice to, like, who for what? It's like, I'm fully, like, nah, like, I am good. Like, I'm not no, I wasn't really wondering, like, if you were, like, having an opinion about how much I'm talking, how fast I'm talking, or what I should say I'm doing for what reason. It's like, ew, you know? Like, I feel like this is a total blab fest. Whatever. It is what it is. I don't care. I never care. This is honesty. And, yeah. Honestly, the way, yeah, the way that, the message feels right. So if I'm sharing personal information, personal details, that's what spirit wants, is calling upon. So, but I've had, situations where even like, so I had a family member come up to me and say, oh, this was in the beginning of when I started the channel. Oh, if somebody asks what you do for your living, say that you're a counselor. I don't know what. I don't even know. I don't know what was that. I don't know who you are right now to, like, your own story. Like, who gives you the motherfucking right to tell me who I will tell to someone else who I am? Don't tell them you're like a metaphysicist. Tell them you're. It's like, I don't. Who fucking cares? Bye. That's all I can say. No, yeah. It's like disturbing. But it is what it is. Love and light. Okay, like, oh my god, no. Like, they've had literally have to tell me blatantly. Like, are you thinking you're relevant? I don't know what's going on, you know? Bye. No, bye. You're not relevant. I'm not relevant to what you're doing. You're not relevant to what I'm doing. Because it's not in alignment. If we were in alignment, we would be relevant. Not because you're giving me advice. It's like, let's go, but this is a reptilian energy. Anyways, bye. This person, yeah. This energy, this decision, okay, is yeah, this experience that this person is having, they're choosing to yeah, be in a reptilian frequency. Like, oh my god. I was like, excuse me? Like, okay, and this person's technically liberal? And you're telling someone how to talk about who they are and no one is even in the slightest, okay, concerned about how to depict what one does. What I'm doing. Like, no. I'm a motherfucking metaphysicist. I'm not a counselor. Okay, not saying anything wrong, but I'm not gonna frame what. Excuse me, I'm not shy. I'm not gonna. Yeah. So, no. It's to the point where, like, if I was a counselor, they would come through one. Maybe say you're more like a meta. Is like that kind of. Okay, bye. I'm really. No. It's like, yeah. Supposedly a liberal wanting to judge. It's a classic. It's irony. And you're trying to judge. You want to frame what someone's doing. Like, oh, what liberals like open minded? No, I don't know. Maybe I got it all wrong. I'm not into a politics thing. It's like these people who overly associate with their political perspective. You know, it's like as if that's their their move. I don't know. We talked about this before. The whole Corona thing, politics and Corona. Yeah, good question, Donna. Donna says, "Why can't family? Let's just let us be who we want." And the thing is, like, then they don't let you go. It's like, hold on, so you don't really align with this, but then you're just trying to like still be in the conversation. If you don't agree, just let's clear on the right side about it. If you don't want to be involved, just don't be involved. It's like, but then they won't let you go. It's like the type of person who says, oh, yeah, I don't want to hang out, but then it's like they keep hanging around you. Something like that. But even with people you date, I've talked about this a lot when it comes to religion. I don't know, guys. This seems like a lot of messages. This is all very, like, very intense, these transits. So it's a lot just coming through at the same time. But yeah, I'm just grateful, happy to be home in a space that feels like home. And it's funny because, yeah, years ago I was at the same hotel, and I was in New York visiting, and it was like, I think the same view too, and I took a picture, and I remember the caption, I think I Instagrammed that picture or something. I was like, Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. And it's so interesting because Isaac is from Kansas. And earlier, and let's back up the threshold, right? Earlier today, okay, I said in the car in part 3 of the video, I feel like Dorothy. It's interesting. Anyways, it's interesting. But let's back up with the throat chakra. Let's grab the crown. There's something definitely going on. I haven't been to New York in like years. Thanks for the support, Jay. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Sometimes it's like, I think part of it is challenge. It's like, what I want, these people should accept me because they're family. No, it's not necessarily like that. Who's to say that just because they're your family, they don't have their ego and their shadow? So that's where it's about not having expectations. Going in with like, hey, I may be the only fucking one in this whole city who, is on my light work game. Obviously that's not true. But it's all perspective, but yeah. Any lightworkers in NYC, this is a very hard terrain. I commend those who are working here in the city. It is very, obviously, every grid is all its own. But I'm seeing some dark energy here. It is really very challenging. Okay, yeah. I'm hearing liftoff. To make something off, of this chaos. But, but I'm sure that you guys are connecting the dots here, and we all are. As lightworkers, we are raising the vibration of the planet, and the grid is elevating. So we're doing something really right, and that's why the reptilian is the reptilian. So it's like a octopus with tentacles, basically. It's like, but the tentacles feel like separate entities, but it's one octopus. That's okay. That's the image spirit is come through with. Okay. Right. It's like Neil. It's like they're repeating what it is that is so odd. It's like they're just wasting your time. I feel like we said this in a recent video. I feel like spirit is smacking me in the third eye. Like, hello, like, yeah, you gotta watch the readings, like, again, maybe, because you're not getting... Oh, you're in New York, right, Tara? Yeah. That's a good way to put it, Diana. It says they are extremely inflammatory right now. You're in the wild. Interesting. Yeah. And I think the point is, like, if something is draining you, like, we don't need to understand, like, what or why, just detach from it. And that's that. For me, that's sometimes hard. Because it's like you're picking up on the projected energy of what that person wants you to do sometimes, right? It's like, this person really wants to hang out with you. It's like, oh, okay. Oh, this person really wants to, like, spend, like, this many days with you. Oh, okay. This person really, it's like, and then, I mean, where's your voice? I'm talking to myself here. Okay. I'm not, like, yelling at anyone. Yeah. Okay. But this is maybe I got a helpful message to others as well. 222. Let's go right. I'm tired of saying that. I'm going to stop saying that. It is what it is. By this point, I'm pretty sure that the people in this chat are, yeah. But you never know. Fairy1212 says, do you date? It's a good question. Because the answer is, like, getting more clear, I think. Like, Spirit is, like, kind of answering that, I think, more for me recently. Because I feel like, well, I'm also answering it for myself in a way, because I'm like, I'm not really attracted to the novel of dating. Like, and the more people I'm starting to meet, I'm just like, what is the purpose of dating? Like, really, if we zoom out and think about it, I was having this talk with someone the other day. It's like, what also qualifies that you're dating someone? Like, actually, not the terms or whatever, right? But what are you actually getting out of, like, what is it actually that's happening in that moment? Why can't you, let's say, share that moment either with yourself or with a close friend or someone, part of your soul tribe? What is the distinction point? It's like that. It's kind of like a selling point. It's a matrix selling point. So many levels of that, though. Like, even like sex, we're getting physical, So it's like, why? Like, let's think about it. Like, why do we do that? Why do we do that stuff? You know, or why did we? You know, sometimes you look back, you're just like, really? It's like you want to slap your former self. Like, what was I doing? Like, it's obviously all for a reason. You know, if you didn't have those experiences, yeah, I had the dark night of the soul because I had, and then I moved through that transcendence because I had those, experiences in the Matrix. Like, personally, no. Like, I don't really see, what is dating? Like, I'm not saying it in like a mean way, obviously, to whoever asked, but it's like, I don't know. Yeah. Very 1212 says, do you miss intimacy? I feel it's hard to live without. It is a lot about clearing. You may have cords still attached to, because a lot of it is memory, right, in the DNA. So it's like, are you still trying to? It's like a phantom cord. You feel like, I'm seeing like a baby here wanting to hold someone's hand. Sometimes we think, oh no, I want like this or that. Like I want to have sex or I want to do this. But then it's something actually very simple and very mundane. That's why it's like you could be physical with someone and have so-called like crazy so-called sex with that person. But then it's like you're not happy. And then it's like what you're really craving maybe is something more like, just, anyways, but that might be separate. But in general, intimacy is you with you, really, right? And if you are really, this is what my belief, like if you are truly happy with you, then your spirit is already where it calls itself to be. So if you really, let's say, are truly craving intimacy, you would have it. So this is a shadow lesson, it's like, so let me make an example. Until I separated from someone here who I was talking to like every day, like we had a connection, very strong connection. In some ways we had a cord. I couldn't imagine not having that. It was really, really, really hard. I mean, huge shadow work point, right? And this was recent. This was right before Isaac came through. Like, thank you, Mimi, because I feel like I'm honestly super abstract right now, but that's okay. It is what it is. Thank you for, it's a cross-reference that really sometimes comes through and pulls through in the chats. And I thank you guys for showing up in the chat. Really, really cool to connect with you guys. And for your support via the cross-reference. And so, but it's like, what were we saying? The intimacy. Oh yeah, the cord. So when I cut the cord, or when spirit cut the cord, right? I think it just go back to the point of saying nothing happens to you. So what you are a creator and a manifester. So there's no such thing as something that's compartmentalized outside of your spirit. And that's the hard part, so-called, with, let's say, private readings, when people, let's say, they want a question answered about XYZ. And it's like sometimes the challenge could be explaining to the ego what the reality situation is with a higher self. It's like someone, no, but I really want to be with them. It's like you don't want to actually be with them, but your ego is convinced that you want to be with this person. But your higher self is like, no, I don't want to do that tonight. I don't want to have sex tonight. No, I don't want to hold her hand. No. I want to be alone, but but it's a cord attachment. Or it's like the ego goes off and makes friends off in 3D. Well, the higher self is like way up, right, in a higher plane. And it's like looking down like, bro, like, why are you hanging out with him again? It's like you actually, you're what you really want, what I really want is let's say, to meditate. Right? So sometimes the higher self has to get kind of like leashy on the ego, and it's like it pulls a cord and it's like, it's time, okay, to cut that crap out. And so that's when you call those experiences upon you. And when the time is truly right to connect, you will find not just, let's say, another person, or in the form of a friend or a boyfriend or girlfriend, or a they or an it, okay, and an it friend, I don't know, they friend, but in general, like, you will attract the energy, not just attract, but it is right? So nothing actually manifests. It's more what you align with in terms of perspective. So it's not like you know, you're not manifesting anything into your life, or because there's no into your life, it's you. And so that's where you honor your spirit and you say, I am one with what I experience and what I perceive. So if you are perceiving of, you know, a lack of intimacy, that's not a lack of intimacy, that is a realization that your higher self is stepping into it. That's very hard though, because your ego is very convinced, right? It's like, no, but like I'm still off on this planetary, you know, sort of path that is telling me one thing, and that's the patternized energies. I believe where we're headed to is sort of like the equivalent of burning clean so-called, fossil fuels, the equivalent of burning clear so-called gas. But in terms of your energy reserves, relationships are extremely taxing on your chakra system. When you're dealing with another human being and you're a very sensitive light worker and you're doing your energy work, etc., it's no joke, you know. And so self-sufficiency, you know, in all realms, I think is one of the most up and coming, we'll say, transitions, I think, of humanity, where it's like, let's start, getting to the point, why do I need to be in a relationship? Like, it's so much of it is your perspective, right? Do I think, or am I comparing myself to another former version of myself, right? Where it's like, I was in a relationship and now I'm not in a relationship. It's like, let's think about it before, if you had a breakup or whatever, before you even met that person, right? There was no heartbreak, there was none of that. There was no, like, you feeling like not worthy. It happened once that person, so it's all in relation, right, to another conversation of your former perspective, or your former, personality function. Okay, and I feel like many people also make excuses like, oh, I'm a social person, I need to be around people. No, you don't need to be around nobody. Okay, actually, yeah, if you really feel, no, I need this, then no, you don't need that. Let's clear it. I feel like we're just talking square, like, so just to the point, but anyways. Spirit's like, it is what it is, we're gonna just say it. We're just gonna spray it. Yeah, the message feels kind of all over, but anyways. So personally, I'm like, no, I don't want, and I've been tested recently, like, after I stopped chatting with this person, that we were talking for years, and it was, like, very hard. I mean, I was like, no, it felt like death in a way, like, what's going on? Like, a part of me is decaying. It's like, that wasn't real. What you needed actually was silence, not to talk to that person every day, like, okay, for what? I mean, that's like feeding the Matrix. And it is draining. It's like you feel like you're getting points at the arcade, but like you don't want to cash out none of those prizes. So it's like a scam. Oh my god, this is so honest. I don't know. Yeah, for myself, let's clear in the heart chakra. But like that's hard to say. It's hard to see it until you clear the cord, and then you're like, whoa, I can fucking breathe. Now I can breathe. There's nothing I think inherently wrong with intimacy. There's a place and time for everything. But, I mean, I have had more intimacy with someone in a long distance Reiki moment than I have with someone in real. So it's like, I guess yet again, perspective, Guys, he is so freaking cute. I love you, Isaac. Aww. I'm so grateful. Find yourself, and everything will be there. It's like your whole reality has manifested already. It's just you have to meet yourself there. There's no like pushing, but the shadow experiences when you're realizing that you have shadow work to do, and that you're doing your shadow work. And allowing the shadow to be moved through, right? Not resisting it. The shadow of feeling that there is a lack or a void, or, being in intimacy or not being in intimacy, or, having this or not having this. That's the perspective that is skewed, that one thing is and one thing is not. I feel like this is a very Sagittarius moment. Oh my god, this is totally abstract for somebody. But, you know, because it's nothing. It's not that you are intimate or not. It's that your higher self, right? You are deciding on a vibration of a reality, right? And so there's a deeper calling. But yeah, I mean, this is just a general message, not necessarily to the person who asked the question. But yeah, personally, like, I've been tested recently, like someone who would offer like so-called so much intimacy. Okay, well, like a physical experience. And I mean, no, I was like, I would much rather. You know, and I have just recently gotten Isaac, and I'm like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to like fill a void that's not there. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no void. But it's like you can sketch over like wholeness and make it feel like it's incomplete, and then have someone here come through, and it's like, what? It's like placing plates out on a party mat for people who are guests that are not arriving. It's like, why would we do that? So it's kind of going back to source, right? If you are ascending into that space of when you are ascending, when you are ascending into the higher realm and dimension, I mean, there's no such thing even as like gender, or obviously like we're here in 3D forms. So you don't need to come together to be with someone in the higher realms and dimensions. So it's kind of it becomes funny, like when you get to that point where you clear the shadow of let's say the need for intimacy, or the feeling of like craving, right? Because it is all one, and then the physical becomes kind of silly at that point, and you're like, what am I getting out of this actually? Unless yet again, if it's in your heart space, if it's in your crown, you're in your crown chakra, which is your meter. It's like, your higher self knows where it's taking you. Okay. Right, this is a general message. Obviously, talk to your person practitioner. Use logic as well. We got to say that, but no, like your crown chakra knows where the hell it's taking you. So when let's talk to a specialist before making any major lifestyle decisions. But yeah, it's about saying no, like you do know better. Okay, it's the spirit that comes before the 3D. But the vessel and the way we perceive this reality with the senses can become very convincing. Like, no, I'm a human that craves like this or that or that or that. No, but first you are a spiritual being. So it's like going back to that source point. And that is also it. I mean, we can say no, but like you're born and you have parents and you need the intimacy and the touch. Okay, but that's also programming, right? Before you reincarnate and before you are in the hands of your parents, you are a soul and a spirit. So it's like, and this is what it is about light work. Some people, that's not their mission. Some people here, they want to be in the White House picket fence world. They want to be extremely dependent and codependent and have to have sex all the time and love and light. I don't know, but I'm like, I watch people who are I'm not saying no shade, but it's a different vibe. And maybe this is a transit. It all depends, like what is meant. When it's meant for you to be in a relationship, you'll be in a relationship. When it's not meant, you'll be in it. So that's clear. But you'll be different. I'm here. You'll be different once you've ascended when it comes to forming partnerships and who you relate to and what who is. What is who? Who are people? When you're connecting to someone, what is really happening there? Why are you connecting that person? And so personally, I've realized dating people who are in the matrix. Sometimes we think, well, what's the big deal? Like, I'll just date this guy or this girl, whatever, or this they or it. We'll just hang out. Like, we'll be friends even. And it's like oh, you gotta ask yourself why. It really, because there's no such thing as just doing it and like destroying energy. It's always going to be going somewhere, right? So if you're giving your energy to that reality, and I'm sorry, that person is in the matrix. It is what it is, right? Let's back up with throat chakra. Like, it is what it is. So, And, you know, I met someone who was a past life soulmate, obviously could have been in a relationship with that person and etc. But I said, no. Like, it's hard. Even before you're in a relationship, some soulmates you meet and you're just like feeling this pull or this magnetism, but then you're like, I know that's not going to give me what I need. It's not going to allow me to elevate. So, you know, I just kind of like cut it off. I was like, no, you know, I did. So, yeah, it starts to become sort of parasitical. That's right, Andrew, energy vampire. Um, yeah. But a lot of that is faith and being like, okay, this is not in alignment. That's all I know. So I'm just not going to align with it. And that's that. So, yeah. That goes for anything, though. Like, 1 year ago, I really wanted to get this dash hound. I wanted to adopt this dash hound. And I was, like, really thinking, like, for a while, like, I really want to, like, adopt. And then it just didn't work out. I was, like, really heartbroken at first. I was really, like, oh, felt like that dog and I would really could. And then no, it's like, that was nothing compared to when I found Isaac and the process that led to Isaac. You know, that path that led to Isaac, it was a total, I mean, that, you know, when something is really guided, I'm hearing Sterling, it will really be. Let's back it up, current state in the room. There's so much, like, you know, that is misunderstood, and a lot of you know, we are taught to, you know, associate our experiences. It's almost like, how do we say, it's like society kind of paints over the story of spirit in a way, and it can be hard to undo that, you know, in all ways. So keep clearing. If you feel you're having trouble, do a detox, do a cleanse. Let's back it up quick. Throat chakra. Right. Okay, Flying Fish Dream says, I just can't settle anymore. That's exactly the feeling. Yep. Yep. And then you feel your higher self like pulling you through, like, no, we're not settling. Come, it's like your friend pulling you out of the club, like, no, like, right this way with me. You know, it's like, you don't want that. You don't want that nasty candy. You want like a real hearty meal. And sometimes that doesn't necessarily mean that it's with someone else. And that's what I noticed. I was like, you know what? If I was in a relationship with this person, I just saw the trade-off like right there. And I would never do that. This was one of those tests of like, I would be so upset at myself if I gave into this, because I know that's not for me. And I was like, all this time then goes to this person, you know, who has like needs, and then you're dealing with like all of their karma. And if you're dealing with someone who's in the matrix, they're not conscientious about, yeah, I'm hearing their craft. So yeah, we're all alchemists. We're all creating. It's not like one person is like an alchemist or they're not, if they're woke or not. Everyone's an alchemist, but they're creating. Okay, sometimes without that consciousness of the higher self. So the ego, and that's the agenda, right? The agenda awareness that is you know, a differentiation point of light workers, where you're like, listen, I'm gonna be me for me. So anyways, and then it's like very draining, because, well, it's very annoying, because then you feel like you have to change this person. And the issue is when you meet someone and you're like, well, it's not perfect. Like, only some things about the situation where this person are like really, 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 I'm hearing exciting or good or positive to think about. But then there are other things that are not really good. And then you feel like you're kind of going in with this half-hearted energy. Sometimes we feel something's off, but we're not admitting or knowing openly, consciously acknowledging that, yeah, there's something that we are not really in alignment with. Your higher self knows, but your ego self is sort of convincing you that it isn't true. And then you live that out for the entirety of the relationship. And that could be challenging because it's like, really, I'm gonna pass up this opportunity. Yep. Because it's just perspective. Time and space don't exist, right? Fear is associated with time and space, where it's like, oh no, if I don't date this person, or if I come across this person in XYZ, and then, oh, by the way, thank you so much for your super chat, Fairy, love and light. That's so kind. Thank you for showing up here. So yeah, the fear of the 3D. It's like, I have to like win this fear ego dance. It's like, all I know is I can't feel that fear. It's like, no, it's like, when you're fearful about something and you're starting to feel this like anxiety, and that's another thing. Like, when you meet someone, you're feeling, let's back it up. Let's clear the crown. Some of you, this is someone else wants you to be with, though. It's not you. Interesting. Okay, it's just going through. Anyways, let's clear the staple in the room. But then in your gut, you're like, I don't feel comfortable about this or whatever. Oh man. Sorry guys, this is a long-winded astro chat in general. Let's back it up, clear the throat and the heart chakra. Just like a flower here. Yeah, I'm hearing forgiveness. Yeah, let's go back. I'm hearing nobody is changing you. Yeah, a lot of energies here, guys. Let's clear the sacral in the room. But yeah, it's like, the time that I would spend with this person and the energy I'd spend with this person, it's like, I want to spend that on my own story. Like, why do I need it? And then you start questioning, like, what is the meaning? I mean, it's interesting. You guys let me know how you feel. Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna crash now for a bit. Me take a nap and just like rest. Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in and connecting to you. We'll take a break. Nice good night. Thanks for bearing with the eccentricities of this flow state, we'll say, tonight, and love and light to you guys here, and through whatever it is that is challenging you to hold utmost, okay, respect for your higher self and the path of ascension that you follow. We may come on again, love and light, just as a side note. So yeah, based on this, I know this is a really intense, and again, I mean, we underestimated it. Okay, definitely. We're like, yeah, Mars retro, like, coming up, etc. Let's clear. But when it comes up, it can be pretty heavy, and things come up that, you know, it's kind of yeah, but again, it's not all what you're experiencing. There's a lot of projected shadow, so um, you know, you may feel like you so-called have understood, you know, your side of things, your perspective. You've made your decision when it comes to your exchange of karma. I hear that as well. But others, you know, have not really found the light there, and so you know, they may not accept that you are the so-called winner or victor within a certain conversation. That doesn't matter. This does not matter. Okay, and so the point is that no matter how others feel about who won the so-called Grammy, okay, spirit speaks through the conversation, okay, that leads out. So when it comes to the communal management of this ascension process, so this is remember that it's a collective experience. So yeah, guys, there's so much energy, but yeah, we may come back on yet again. You know, yeah, I'll listen to spirit here as always, of course, but that's, and don't feel bad like, oh my god, like you're not getting sleep. I know some people sometimes they get, don't worry, like this is spirit is they are following and they are protecting us, okay, this guided experience. So let's clear. And that's a message for you obviously as well, like your guides are um, there, okay, for you as well, you know, if you are going through a challenging time, whatever this eclipse, Mars retro, you know, and you're also guided in release. So sometimes you know what you need to release. The challenge is, some of you, this is something that you will need to do. This is coming up. So, and Spirit wants to talk to you about this. This is a message for someone very particular on, you know, spending time in meditation. There may be certain things that you may need to do like last minute. It may come up sort of like suddenly, okay, let's clear the energy. Someone may not be ready for you to make this change, but you're going to make this change. This is what I'm hearing. Something about the summertime. I'm hearing Archie, and I'm hearing the initials R and G. I'm hearing PEDE. Take it as you will. For some of you, oh man, this is, yeah, I feel like Spirit's not gonna let us go yet with this. There's a lot of messages here coming through. This is about someone's career for some of you. Someone mentioned this earlier. They're like, someone was like, yeah, you should like sleep, get some rest. And then someone else comments like, when you got messages and you can't sleep, it's true. We've been there. Sagittarius 14 parts, but yeah, hey, message in and of itself, how they do come through. But yeah, what were we saying? Let's go to my say body, something about an RV. Let's back it up. Some of you are gonna get like a raise. This is about your career. Some of you may even move. This may be a last minute thing. I wonder if Spirit wants cards on this. I'm getting that somebody wants to talk to you. This is your guide. You have a guide that wants to talk to you. It may be about the next step in your journey. So they may be saying, hey, keep it up in mind. Okay, certain things maybe, you know, you do have sort of, you know, you have the back, how do we say the forefront of your mind. You are, let's say, expecting, okay, well, Mars, Russia, these things may pop up, but there may be other things that, you know, maybe surprise, but not in like how do we say those? it's it's the transition. So certain people will be releasing. I feel Spirit wants the cards. Give me a second, guys. Because yeah, they're not gonna let us go to sleep without getting this message out. Hold on. Okay, guys. Actually, let's what we'll do is take a break. We'll come back on. Oh man, this is conflicted. Baby. I'm saying also take care of your health around this time. Drink a lot of water. You know, make sure that you're doing what you need to do to take care of you, take care of yourself, and Sage, you know, to your question, I feel like much of this is so much in your direction, in your distinction. When you are doing, let's say, certain, it's like you can tell someone indirectly, like, yeah, let's go. I feel like so exhausted right now, but then I feel like I'm so wired. Let's clear. Someone's coming through for you. No, this is a message for someone. You're a guide. A message coming from your guide. They want you to know about something. Okay, let's just channel. I'm not going to use the cards right now. Let's just channel. I'm hearing Aries. I'm hearing AV. This person is feeling like you're not going to expect them to roll through. Oh my god. I'm feeling like it's this oscillation. I feel like maybe some guys want the cards and some don't. This is a mixed bag. Oh, give me a sec, guys. Let me just take my hair down. For some of you, your guides. Okay. For some of you, you're going through like a very fucking fast transit. You're gonna be clearing, okay, a lot, and then immediately jumping into another ascension experience. So Spirit is saying, can you, it's the catch up time. It's like when you're running a race, it's your recovery time. So Spirit is saying, like, we need you to jump back in because it's kind of like, not relevant anymore. Something like this. Something is ending. You have to release it, like, really fast. Yes, let's clear it. Let's back it up. Some of you, this is someone you know. We may even do a pick a card. Not tonight, though. Probably, maybe like tomorrow. Let's clear it. Yeah, and a lot of them can be clout chasing. So, some of you, it's something about vacation. I see you switching gears. Some of you, you may decide to go on vacation last minute or something like this. Some of you are going to move. Some of you may even go on vacation and decide to stay. It's like that you want to live there. This is what I'm hearing. Let's back it up, clear the sacral chakra. Yeah, because for some of you, something's not working. So you're going to make this decision. It's like it's a quick turn on the pike, you know. It's like something going to boil over on the stove. And then you got to just quickly pull it off and realize that that's not the dish that spirit wants you to have. You see what I'm saying? So something has maybe even expired or reached just, it's like, so you got to realize, okay, this is over. Like the time is done for that. And yeah, this is a past life energy as well. So I'm hearing Leo limits, but yeah, let's clear. This is a general, so this isn't for all light workers here. It's about not also giving into the so-called temptation and being firm in what you know. You guys may come back. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, it's super conflicted. I feel like let's clear on the throat chakra. I keep hearing AV. Isn't that something about flight? Like aviation. Let's clear. Yeah, I'm seeing like spirit is saying like you cracked the code. You crack the code, and they're like, okay, go, go, go. Like some of you are ascending. So they're saying that you are actually moving. It's kind of like you've been asleep for so. How do we say this? Something wasn't working even, and then it's gonna suddenly start working. But yeah. So they're also saying it's not too good to be true. So yeah, accept your positive karma. We'll see you guys